Okay, cool.
And now it's recording.
Do you want to record now?
Go over here. Sure. Why not?
Okay, so we're going to be, Sarah, you got volunteered to be my model today, didn't you? You're sitting so close to the model.
I can switch seats.
No, it's okay, it's okay. All right, so come on in, you guys. Pull up a chair. You can use that black chair back there, Andrew, if you want. Okay, so the next assignment is painting with light or night photography. Okay, it's broad. You can go out at night. You can open the shutter up, put the camera on your dashboard of your car, drive around the neighborhood. You can do all kinds of things. Set it on a tripod, let cars drive by, hold it out the window as you're driving. But this painting with light idea is kind of cool. And there's a couple of videos I'm going to show you here when we wrap up. Don't let me forget the videos, okay? Or somebody remind me, because I want to give you some really interesting ideas. And I think in the last PowerPoint, I had a couple of links to Lost America and this other light warfare thing. And you can look at both of those, but I'm going to show you those too. There's a few things you need if you're going to paint with light. You need some way to stabilize the camera. Okay? Tripod. Right? We checked these out. As I was talking to somebody about tripods, you want a really sturdy tripod, you want a really cheap tripod, and you want a light tripod, but you can't have all three. If you want a very sturdy tripod and a very cheap tripod, it's going to weigh 1 million pounds like this does. But this is good if you're out at night in the alleys of San Francisco, and somebody comes to mug you, you can hit them over the head with it. And it won't hurt the tripod, it'll be fine. Just wipe the blood off or something. Okay? So these are bulletproof, student-proof tripods. They're built to go the distance. They're heavy, but they'll work. So if you want to check out a tripod, Tammy's here. When we're finished, you can take one home, or come back later in the week and do that, whatever you want. Okay? So somehow to stabilize the camera. You can set it on a table. You can set it on anywhere, but someplace to stabilize it. Then you either need to have a remote release like this, which basically, as long as you hold this little button down, right, the shutter will stay open. Okay? Or, what some people do, the do-it-yourselfers in the crowd, is the shutter button's right here, right on the top. What they do is they get a little pebble and some duct tape. They put duct tape on this side, put the rock here, put the duct tape over really hard, and then it pushes down the shutter. When you're done, you lift up the duct tape. So that's free, instead of paying the $40 for this. Alternatively, you can also, most of your cameras go up to 30 seconds exposure, right, in a time mode. So if you can do all your painting with 30 seconds, by all means, then do that. You can do that, okay? A couple other things you need to do, you need to have is a flashlight of some sort. I'm just going to be using some LED cheap flashlights from Costco. Kind of a flashlight. And that, okay, really, is it okay here or something? You can just move that chair over so you're more comfortable. Just move right over here. Okay, straight about there. Perfect. I promise these won't end up all over the internet. Just all over Westbell. How's that? Okay, the other thing is it has to be on manual focus. Because if you go and set everything up when the lights are on, you turn off the lights, you hit the shutter, it goes you do all that work and everything's a big blur. This is not abstract. Okay? If we want to do this painting with light and we're going to make Sarah look beautiful, we want to have her slightly in focus. Or something. Okay. Now, I'm telling you right now that people are the hardest ones to paint with light because you don't want them to move. And painting with light means turn off all the lights in the room. It's completely dark. I open up the shutter, and then I take my flashlight, and I basically just wave the flashlight around and light her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the flashlight on this side, and I'm going to make that the key light, and I'm going to light this side of her face. Then I'm going to walk over here, and I'm going to light this side of her face. And then I'm going to come back here with the flashlight, and I'm going to give her that little glow hair light. So what we're going to have is what is like her being in the studio with 3 lights. Okay? All right? But all done with one little flashlight. That's it. Okay? So this is simpler than Lacey's bucket of water and some dye, right? Everybody's got a flashlight. You could use your phone. You could use anything that gives off light to paint with light. This happens to be a little bit more spotty. Okay? All right. So let's see. So I'm going to tell you the exposures. I'm at 100 ISO, and I'm at f11 for this flashlight. If you have a flashlight that isn't as bright, you may want to open it up a little bit. If you have a flashlight, or you may want to go to a higher ISO. Either way. I don't necessarily need f11 for depth of field, but this light's pretty bright. I had another one that was better, but this one's kind of bright. So f11 on bulb. So also the nice thing about this little release is you see it's just black right here. If I push the button down and push it forward, see how it's supposed to that red? That means it's going to stay open without me having my finger on it until I come over here and release it. Okay? All right. So